Remember how everyone tried to scare you about the end of JobKeeper, that somehow the sky was going to fall in because potentially 150,000 people were going to lose their jobs because the supplemental payments that kept hundreds of thousands of people in their jobs during the pandemic, well, it had to be turned off because it was proving too difficult for employers to get people to start working again.
The government has turned off the JobKeeper program way too early.
I'm not sure why you'd spend nearly a year, effectively taking them across the desert and then getting this close to the finish line and pushing them over the cliff.
150,000 people losing their jobs in coming months is a pretty scary thing.
Really concerned that their doors will close without JobKeeper.
The rug is about to be pulled from under those businesses.
The fact of the matter is that if JobKeeper does come to an end and there is nothing done here, we're going to see thousands of businesses go bust. We're going to see tens of thousands of Australians lose their job.
Ably helped on by scaremongering in the media.
To 150,000 Australians could lose their jobs now that the government's coronavirus wage subsidy has ended. More than 1 million Australians were on JobKeeper before it ended yesterday.
It was a steady drumbeat. It was on television, radio, it was in the newspapers all day, every day. JobKeeper equals lots of people were going to lose their jobs as soon as this thing was removed in March. The Channel 9 newspapers, chief amongst the scaremongers. Well, we turned to the Channel 9 newspapers today because guess what? They had to report that dole numbers have actually fallen since JobKeeper ended. I repeat, the number of people collecting unemployment benefits has fallen even after JobKeeper ended in March. Here's the Treasurer explaining how.
Well, that 105,000 people have come off income support in the month of April since JobKeeper ended. You may remember our political opponent said that the sky would fall in.
Further, the Australian National University and their Centre for Social Research and Methods has concluded, among other things today, that they've been following 3,500 people during the pandemic to see just how many hours they have been working. It's gone right down to 18 and a half hours per week being worked. That's now up to 20.6 hours worked by those people. Doesn't mean everything's okay. No, it doesn't mean everything's okay. But has the sky fallen in after JobKeeper was removed? No, no, no. We get the federal budget tomorrow night, and how's this for our budget lineup? We're going to have, not just myself, but Alan Jones, Chris Kenny, Andrew Bolt. That's just a taste of the people that will be here at this time tomorrow night. So make sure you watch us for the best post-game when it comes to the budget, as well as the 5 key things that you really need to know. Now, in part, the way that the budget is going to be funded is because there has been a massive increase for some people in their company profits, a giant increase in the amount of money that we are getting out of royalties from iron ore, ironically, still selling to China despite all of the issues that are taking place there. So you have seen a scenario where there's a giant increase in the amount of money that is coming in. There's also going to be huge spending on things like roads and rail in the next little while, but it's not enough, according to the Turnbull Times. Why? Because according to the Turnbull Times reporting what the Climate Institute had to say, Australia spent just 16 cents on climate out of every $100 that the federal government spent. So is the Turnbull Times suggestion that somehow we should not spend the single biggest expense of the budget, which is Centrelink and all the different payments that come through Centrelink? Maybe we should halve the amount of money for the Defence Force. What about the health system? Medicare? Should it only your left arm be covered under Medicare, not your right arm, in order to fund climate change? What about the number of people going to university or taxpayer, television, radio and internet?